Oh man, Krypton has never been this scandalous, corrupt, or downright self-destructive. We're talking about stolen resources, turning a blind eye to the truth, false executions, and the mass murder of anyone outside the elite, including kids. Welcome back to Keepin' It Comic. Today, we're diving into the Absolute Superman issue number 3. Now look, if you're not familiar with what's going on, let me tell you, this is not your typical Superman story. Everything has been turned upside down, and it all stems from the death of Darkseid. But death wasn't the end for him. In an explosive all-in special, Darkseid transitioned morality and reshaped reality itself, forging a twisted new existence where nothing is as it seems. So this issue starts 6 years ago on Krypton. Now look, Kal-El, he was considered lower class. He was considered a runt by his peers who was too slow and coordinationally challenged for the Law Guild Training Academy. He struggled with school, having bad grades, so there was no chance of him getting into the Science Academy. But what he was a part of was the Labor Guild, and that was him and 2 of his friends, which were both animals. Now, we see Kal-El is out with his parents, and they go to visit the Red Mountains, and his parents need to talk to him about school. See, the teachers had reached out to them because he didn't use an AI to help with his schoolwork. Talk about backwards compared to where we are now. See, this AI had 3,000 years of Krypton tradition to it, and he'd rather write everything himself since the words just flowed and hit different. And what do they tell him? They're proud of him, which is completely different than what we're used to. And they want him to be what he wants to be. So why exactly are they in the Red Mountains? Well, Kal-El has work to do. He's been taking samples of the planet since he found out that it was dying. Kal-El's parents have been working on something in secret, and nobody knows what's going on, not even him. All he knows is that it requires more sunstones. Jor-El doesn't think there's much time, maybe months or even days. And he wants to take his findings to the Science League as well as their design. But his wife Laura thinks they should wait, because if they don't listen to what he has to say or they disagree, well, they're gonna come and take everything that they've been working on. So Kal-El goes outside, and what's he see? Animals dead. Kryptonite looking dust everywhere. At first he thought it was Krypto, but then he notices something else is off. So what's he do? He jumps on his bike. And what does he see? Crops everywhere are dying overnight. Animals acting strange, throwing themselves off of cliffs. Fish look sickly. And the craziest thing, pearl divers along the coast were floating to the surface boiled alive. Talk about madness. And what did the Science League say about all of this? That it's nothing unusual. Natural gas leaks, isolated problems, no reason for concern. Yeah, because you're telling citizens that people showing up on the surface boiled alive is natural. I mean, even if you don't want to talk about that, I don't know how many times I can say I've seen animals just throwing themselves off a cliff. But needless to say, about a week later, the class took a school field trip. Kal-El, he decided to write everything down that he's seen along the way. And he was so into it that he accidentally hit send and sent it to the school's news board. And before he even made it to the destination of the trip, the report was erased from the school board and the tablet, and a meeting was set up with the administrating to meet with his parents. Talk about hiding stuff. So where exactly was this field trip? Well, to the halls of high wisdom. And this seems to be a huge building in which the Science League is located in. And the clerks that work there, well, they're off doing official science business. Now, Kal-El is not impressed, nor wants to work there. Again, he has no need or want to be in the Science League. But as Kal-El gets off of the elevator, what does he see? He sees his dad being dragged. Says he needs to talk to them, their lives are in danger. And what do the officers do? They silence him and say, "Did you just threaten us?" Now, just think about it. This man is trying to see the higher-ups to let them know that the whole planet is in danger. And to silence him, they're going to consider it a threat. If that's not corrupt, I don't know what is. But Jor-El, he tells Kal-El to run home and tell his mother. And the officers start electrocuting him right in front of his son. And let me tell you, this made Kal-El furious. And he tries to attack the officers, but he's not strong enough at this point. So they just knock him over. So of course he listens to his father and he runs home. So after explaining everything to his mother, Lara wants Kal-El to stay with her. And if anything goes wrong, she wants him to return home and go into the garage and call for Saul. Kal-El asks, "Who is Saul?" and hears a voice. Laura says, "Forget it for now. Just do what I say." And he asks, "Well, what are we gonna do?" And Laura simply responds, "I'm gonna get Dad back." And can I just say, she looks hot with a crazy looking gun. So Lara and Kal-El, they make their way to the Central Law Guild office. And an officer says Jor-El is being accused of heresy. And in case you don't know what that is, it's an opinion or belief that is the opposite or against what is official. And another officer even says, "Is that his kid? He's a writer, right? We have charges for him too." Next thing you know, everything is on fire and the doors being blown open. So what exactly happened? Lara's what happened. Two officers are on the floor on fire, and she sends Krypto to find Jor-El. While one officer is calling for backup, as well as saying one female and one dog have entered the building, and she has a gun that's shooting some projectile. Another officer is like, "It's shooting lava! Get the suit off of me!" Now, can I just say this instantly made things worse for Jor-El, who now all of a sudden is considered guilty, and they're saying, "Proceed now with the lethal injection." And in a flash, a red blur takes out the guard just in time as he's about to be injected. And who is it? It's Krypto. Now, we get a shot of a sick, dark-looking shadow that's making everything explode. And the next scene, we get to see it is a badass outfit that Lara is wearing. And this thing is freaking sweet. And while she's freeing her husband, Kal-El took off. And we get a glimpse of him talking to an officer, telling him, "Give me the login, and I would tell my mother not to shoot you anymore." And so he does just that. And he uses this login to get into their computer system. And what does he see? Well, the clerics aren't on official business as he was told. They're actually on a starship, and they plan to leave the planet and leave everyone else there to die. So now, Laura, Jor-El, and Kal-El, they head back home. And they finally want to explain to Kal-El what's happening, but since he already looked at the computer system, he already knows that the planet is dying. See, those higher-ups had everything in detail. They've known this whole time the planet was dying and still wanted to kill a man for trying to save everybody. But Kal-El's not too excited because he feels like he's going to be given this suit and be sent out into space all alone. But his family assures him that they're gonna go too. And they plan on taking as many neighbors and Kryptonians as the ship can hold. And just then, Jor-El says, secretly pouring every resource into ships to carry upper classes off-world. And his wife asks, "What are you talking about?" And it seems the story is everywhere now. See, the story was actually uploaded directly from the building they just left. And just then, both parents realized who did it. Now we jump to present time, and we're in central Kansas. To be more exact, we're in Smallville Senior Living. And there's a female who's been dying slowly and calling out for her son. One of the nurses or doctors, they say records show she has no son. And this lady says, "Angel, where did you go? Fly back to me, my sweet boy, back to where you belong." And what do we see? A wristband that says M. Kent. And this was a crazy read. The backstory for this Superman is absolutely top tier. I need to know what's killing the planet. Will there be any revenge against these upper class elites who are willing to let everyone just be unalived? We've yet to hear about any other Kryptons on Earth. So what happened to Kal-El's family? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video to help out with YouTube's algorithm. And make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future content. Join our Patreon and follow us on social media. The links are in the description. And until next time, thanks for kicking it with Keepin' It Comic.